So if anybody that is dealing with the heart of bitterness or have had difficulties with getting over being bitter, please stop and watch this video. So here's a fact about bitterness, and I had to look up the definition of bitterness so that I can understand the context behind why do you become bitter, or why is a person bitter, or why do you have difficulties overcoming bitterness. So bitter, the definition of bitter is angry, hurt, or resentful because of one's bad experiences or a sense of unjust treatment. Bitterness is anger and disappointed at being treated unfairly, resentment. So here's a fact by the definition of bitter and the definition of bitterness. You have to go through a traumatic experience in order to be bitter or to be considered a bitter person. You have to go through hurt, you have to go through pain, and you have to go through some type or some form of betrayal in order for you to be categorized as a bitter person. Another fact about bitterness is that whatever that you went through concerning the reason why you are bitter, or the reason why you are going through the heart of bitterness, or the reason why you're categorized as a bitter person, it's because the experience made you that way. It's because you went through an experience, and this was the result of this experience. You became bitter, you became angry, you became resentful, you became, just harboring that hurt and that disappointment in your heart. And so, because I know the outcome of bitterness, we all have seen a person that has the product of bitterness, that has harbored, that has kept this resentment. I see some older men and women, you can tell that they have residue. They have the residue of bitterness. They have the residue of resentment. They have the residue of disappointment. They have the residue of hurt, basically. And so I tell myself, this is a prayer that I prayed. Like, I have been through so many experiences that would give me rightfully so to be bitter. I have went through so many trials and tribulations will give me right where I would feel it gives me rightfully so that I can be bitter, that I can be resentful, that I can be hurt, that I can be angry about these situations, because I feel like I have the right. I feel like life circumstances had given me no choice to be that way. Our life circumstances had given me no choice to act upon my traumatic experiences, my hurt, my pain, and things like that. So I'm here to speak to the bitter people. I'm here to speak to the people that have bitterness in their heart. I'm here to speak to the people that has resentment in their heart. I want you to make the daily choice not to be bitter, even though you have a reason to be bitter. I want you to make that choice, and I want you to ask God to help you with your heart. I want you to ask God to help you to remove the calluses of your heart. I want you to make the choice to have joy even when life circumstances haven't given you joy. Like, you make that choice not to be bitter. Make that choice not to have resentment, even though you are rightfully so, you should have those things. And I want you to choose to live a life abundantly. And I want you to choose the life, and I want you to have so much joy and happiness in life that, God is slowly removing that bitterness. God is slowly removing that resentment. God is slowly removing that anger. God is slowly moving that hurt that caused you to be stuck in the state of bitterness, stuck in the state of being bitter. And I truly want that prayer for us. I want that prayer because even I do have to make the daily choice every single day not to stay bitter, not to stay mad, not to stay resentful, not to harbor on that hurt or hold on to that hurt, because it's so easy to do so, but then it's also killing us. It's killing us slowly. And if we were to actually talk to our older selves and to picture us still holding on to this hurtness, I was looking at the synonyms of bitterness, and I was looking at similar words to bitterness. And one of the words that they had to compare to being bitter was to have a chip on one's shoulder. I want you to choose not to have that chip on your shoulder. I want you to have joy, and I want you to have peace today. And I want you to ask God to help you with your heart of bitterness. Thank you so much for tuning in. I love you guys. Have a wonderful weekend. See you later. Bye.